the first day that I started, right? So I was searching, as like for most of us, I was searching for options to kind of get coached, because as I did like almost a 10-month long stint with a startup as a high performance coach. However, I started realizing that if I have to be in the coaching industry, I cannot do without like a certification. So I started exploring everything internationally. But then again, like I was not able to kind of connect to it. And then I called Smita, I think, or Smita called me when I had put in a request. And I still remember that call. It seems like yesterday. And she said, "Oh, you will talk to Dr. D." And I said, "Okay, fair enough." Like I wasn't sure what I was getting into, but I was like, no harm in talking. As Dr. D said, I've always been a people's person, love to talk to people. I said, bring it on. And I think that first call, I mean, I couldn't think that, I would have, I would be wrong, or I would be lying if I said, oh, I could envisage how the call would go. Like a typical person coming and trying to sell something, that we have this and we have this certification, like any other international certification was doing. We connected mainly on India, right? Like how Dr. D says you do everything with a purpose. His purpose and passion was very clear on the first call. And I think that was the go for me from there. And since then, I think I've never hesitated. And after that call, I didn't look back. I was like, yes, I want to learn from the master. And at that point in time, it was just one call. So I still didn't know. But I think after the first few couple of like meeting, I was so invested and so interested in all the concepts, because as we've all heard, right, in all the like fellowship meetings that we've attended, this is not the normal. Going through your own transformation journey, leading by example as a coach, and then being ready to coach people. I think it's a phenomenal concept. And what Dr. D has created, and what Dr. D is trying to create in India with the India Coaching Federation, I've been very proud of that. And Dr. D knows I am ready to support ICF in any capacity, whatever it takes. Like even if I have to read, review, not coach, but do back end stuff also, I would love to do that. Like to get India on the world platform with an Indian coaching federation is a big thing. And I really want to thank Dr. D for starting this, and again Smita and all the staff that's supporting Dr. D, and of course this team, right? Because every meeting that I have come, I have looked forward for my fellowship, and like today is my big day. So I'm really proud and really happy to be part of this. So thank you, Dr. D, again. Thanks a lot. Uh, I'll I'll just like I what I did was, as I said, I wanted to keep it crisp. I didn't want to kind of go ahead with stories, and I can talk like, if you give the mic in my hand, I can talk for like hours, which I'll not do. But what I've done is I've created my 5 pointers of the transformation journey that I have learned from Dr. D, and I'll just share those with you all. So the first one is the discovering of oneself through self transformation. That has been a journey for me. Like what's your wisdom, what's your like awareness, what's your oneself, the empowerment that I have got understanding what's my oneself, which was empowering. It has changed my life. Like whenever something happens, I kind of get that word out, and then it starts helping me to kind of move very seamlessly ahead. So as I said, leading by example, and then being ready, being very confident that yes, I'll be able to coach someone. That's a very big thing, and that's a confidence Dr. Diaz instilled. So for me, that was a big step. Second, this was like, so I used to trouble Dr. D with a lot of stuff. I wanted to be like, whatever I do, of course, like everyone, I want to be the best in it, but I want to be the best dad, right? And I have troubled him with so many topics, and my son is 6, by the way. But yeah, as you all know, I mean, like any age is like difficult to manage nowadays with children. And I hear that across the age groups and age bands from everyone, from all parents. So I have gone back to him so many times, and it used to seem like a counseling session for me. But one thing that struck me is the shunya concept. Like when he said, like, be shunya, operate out of nothing. When you're trying to be someone, uh, it always will create roadblocks, a lot of filters. And then when you operate out of shunya, that kind of solves a lot of things just to start with, right? I've tried with Dian, my son. I've tried that in office. Professionally, I've been there, but to kind of do it with a lot of awareness, that's been a great learning for me. So that's one. And listening. So I love the concept of ladder, right? It was a new concept, never heard it. It was Dr. D's concept. And I felt like how he started with listening, that's the foundation of everything. I think as coaches, because I've done coaching for like a good 10 months, that too in a startup, that was the first step. Like every time you go into a session, listening becomes your top priority. So that's the foundation of everything. And I think, like, the ladder technique says it all. So hats off to sir for creating that. um, Looking at life and career with the lens of purpose, uh, and not like materialistically. I think the example that sir was giving, I was always in between that, should I move to HR with my people skills or should I stay in IT? I think when I decided my purpose, I was pretty clear, and that clarity which I've been struggling for, I think what 10 odd years, that should I switch or not switch, that's kind of clear today. And again, I mean, thanks to him, uh, it gives me a lot of kind of peace. And I have discussed this with my current boss as well, and then my people leader kind of feels I am at peace after taking that decision as well. So leading a life with purpose, it has really helped. And I think for this one, the last one, that's the fifth point.